Do not unpack. Today I'm going to tell you a terrifying story about an ordinary guy who receives a package, and with it, something that should never have entered our world. He opened the box without noticing the warning and triggered a chain of horrifying events. What is this object? Who is hunting him now? And why does everything start over again each morning? Watch until the end. The ending of this story will truly shock you. Enjoy the video while you're still alone. Chapter 1. The package. It started like any other day. I had ordered a new keyboard and a couple of books. Nothing unusual. The courier arrived around noon and handed me a large cardboard box. I signed for it, closed the door, and then noticed another package lying in the hallway. Small, heavy, no logos, no delivery markings, just my name, written clearly by hand. No last name, just my first name, and near the edge, some kind of smeared writing. I could barely make it out. Do not open until... The rest was too smudged to read. Funny enough, I didn't think much of it. I put the box on the table and went about my day. Chapter 2. The first mistake. An hour passed. Curiosity began to win. Maybe it's a gift, I thought. Family, maybe a surprise. Friends have sent me weird stuff before without warning. I opened the package with a utility knife. Inside was a folded piece of black cloth. Beneath it, a wooden cube slightly smaller than a human head. Smooth, with no seams or locks, but the surface seemed to pulse. In rhythm with my heartbeat, my palms began to sweat. It felt like I was holding something alive. I placed the cube back and went to the kitchen, deciding to forget it. But when I came back, the cube was gone. The cloth was still folded neatly, but inside, empty. Chapter 3. Something's nearby. At first, I thought I had just moved it and forgotten. I searched the entire apartment, under the table, behind the chair, in the closet. Nowhere. It was getting dark, and the air in the room felt wrong, heavier. The sound changed too, muted as if I were underground. Then, a creak on the hallway floor. I froze. A cat, I thought, though I don't have one. I stepped into the hallway. Empty. But now, the mirror on the wall didn't reflect me. It showed a dark silhouette standing in the kitchen. I ran in. Nothing. Chapter 4. Shadows move. I told myself it was stress, imagination, maybe exhaustion. I went to take a shower, but when the bathroom mirror fogged up, it didn't. It remained perfectly clear. So clear. I saw movement behind me. I turned. The bathroom was empty. But in the mirror, the butt shadow was still there. Standing beside me, I slammed the door and ran. From that moment, the apartment started changing. The furniture was slightly out of place. The lights dimmed. And that night, I heard him breathing. Not from the street, from under the bed. I didn't sleep. Chapter 5. Night and morning. When morning came, everything vanished. The air, the pressure, even the fear, all gone. I nearly laughed in relief. Then, I saw it. The same box was back on my desk. The cloth, the cube. Exactly where it was before, like nothing had happened. Like I never opened it. This time, the writing on top was clear. Do not open until sunset. But I had already opened it, before. Chapter 6. They come. As the sun went down, it returned. The silence thickened, curtains swayed, even though the windows were closed, and suddenly, I knew. I wasn't alone. I felt eyes, dozens, all at once. They didn't appear, they emerged. First like blurs, then shapes, tall, thin, human-like, but with no faces. And in the middle, the wooden cube, now floating in the air. They formed a circle around it, and I understood. I had broken something. Chapter 7. The game begins. They didn't attack. They just stood, waiting. Then one of them raised a hand. I couldn't move. My body refused. It pointed at me, and then vanished. I was left alone. Or so I thought. Outside the window, no street, just fog, thick and